I'm just trying to figure out why. Hold on. Let me close that. Hey, excuse me. Let me discard my gum in my mouth. I'm sorry. Okay, here I am now. um, I'm tired. I'll start there. I am tired. Went to bed at 3 o'clock this morning, even though I was tired last night. So imagine. The good thing is, I worked from home today, so I didn't have to worry too much. Well, I didn't have to worry about getting up early, and so um, I'm grateful, but I'm tired, and I'm tired because I got a lot to do. Anyway, welcome back to Antonia's Blissful Corner. I am Antonia, and this is day 16 of my 25-day going live journey. And today's message is for those who feel defeated because I have been there. Excuse me. I don't know what's going on in here because I've been in since yesterday, last night. And it's annoying, but I'm just saying. I think it's because I'm tired. I don't feel sick or anything like that. But I think my body's telling me, girl, we's tired. We need a vacation. We need a vacation. Anyway, we're here. You know what? A little while ago, I thought to myself about how when I decided to do this this journey, I don't want to call it a challenge because it really isn't challenging. But when I started to do this, I thought to myself whether or not I would be able to. And you know what the real challenge was? Doing it on vacation. I mean, I'm in Jamaica. And I had to tell mommy, can we delay dinner? Because I got to go live. Mommy is such a trooper and I'm grateful for her. Excuse me. Hey, fam. Hey, KK. Hey, Big 1111. Love y'all. Thank you. Um, excuse me. But it has been so Kay is here, right? So Kay is here, and I'm grateful for Kay because Kay agreed to partner with me to do my mid-month Hey Sister um, chat, and that was the second time that I went live because we went live on her channel, and we didn't know that we were live until we were halfway through. That's when she realized, oh wait a second, and it was we were cracking up, right? And the first time we went live was on my anniversary because I think it was on the day of. I sent her a message and I said, hey, you want to go live with me today? She said okay, and it was fun. But that was from May, and I didn't go live ever since then. And I think I was a little bit afraid. I'm not sure afraid of what, but I was. But anyway, here we are doing this 25-day sprint. And I'm excited because it's day 16, y'all. It's day 16. Anyway, I digress. That's not what we're here. We're here today to talk about being defeated. And I actually wrote it on my little whiteboard here because I was speaking to one of my mentee sisters today. And I was sharing with her a conversation that I had with another mentee sister that came with us to Jamaica. Um, what name did you jack up? um, what name? Anyway, let me know in the comments, Kay. And the mentee sister was talking about how like I felt her pain in terms of where she is and where she thought she would be. And I think sometimes we apply too much pressure with uh, our progress in life when in reality we are where we are meant to be. Sometimes I think we want to go faster than we are going. And what I love about my life and the way that I'm living it is that I'm taking my time. I'm doing what pleases me. When I tell you that when I was in Jamaica, I hardly did any postings. And I was surprised at myself because for the past 2 years, I would love waking up in the morning and going out for my morning walk, which I still did because I still love that. That's a part of me. But I was so happy to say, good morning, sunshine. And I would show them the ocean and all. And I didn't. I think I did it 3 times this time. And there were times when I felt a certain way, and I was like, oh, Big 1111's name. You sure did. B 1111. What up, B? um, that's in the chat for those who are watching this later on. Is K wrote instead of Big 1111, she wrote B 1111. Excuse me, but um this time around, I told myself like I'm going to just take it easy, which I didn't. I was up late nights because basically like trying to get this thing done, and just like other small things. And I didn't really focus much on the Instagram posts that because usually I would post every day or whatever have you. I didn't really focus on um, my morning messages. And what that taught me is it's okay. It's okay to miss a day. It's okay to miss a week. It's okay to miss a month because the people who are for you will be there for you. So that is something that I guess that I could have felt defeated over. I was like, I'm not. It's fine. I'll be all right. As far as I was concerned, I was in Jamaica. I wanted a tan, and I was sort of responsible for the retreat, and I'm glad that everybody had a fantastic time. And I'm also glad that I chose to go a few days early, stay a couple days late after they left so that I can enjoy some time alone. And I did. And I'm also happy that mom came along and she also spent time. She abandoned me, guys. She just abandoned me. But it's okay. I think at one point she asked me, um, aren't you supposed to be doing I don't remember what she said. Cause I'm always telling her that she abandoned me, or I'm telling her that she adopted me and ask her like, why don't you like me, lady? Why don't you like me? It's funny. we we just crack up at the silliest thing, but I'm so grateful for my mom, because she has been such an asset on this journey. Not just for being my mom, but just for pretending that she likes me and pretending that she's okay with me being weird. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. just just allowing me to be me and not making me feel weird. And choosing to say no to me when I need a no. Because the reality of it is I do need to go by myself sometimes. And I'm happy that even if she says no sometimes, she'll just kiss her teeth and she'll still help or come or do whatever have you, um, to kind of help me along. And I'm grateful for that. But anyway, I digress. There has been many times, like when I was speaking to my mentee sister today, and I wrote down defeated, because there were times when I have felt defeated, but I knew that there wasn't anything that I could do except to keep going, because there is no other choice. Like if you give up, what's the alternative, right? Because when I was speaking to the mentee sister in Jamaica, I felt it for her. Like I felt it, and she said, "This is the last trip that I'm going on," and I allowed her and the conversation to simmer and settle right there. And when I saw her on the next day, which was the 22nd, which happened to be her birthday also, I hugged her. It was her and her husband, and I said to her, it's going to be okay. And this is not going to be your last vacation, because at the end of the day, life is for living. And I do believe that where there's a will, there's a way. Gosh darn it, this country is about to implode, but we be all right. We gonna be all right. We gonna be all right. um, but for me, like, so there has been times when I had to basically just rock and go through it, right? Because when your life is set up where it's always something and it's always a struggle, you just learn how to laugh. And I have learned how to laugh at things. So there are times when I believe that, well, I've learned not to say, oh goodness, what else can go wrong? Because if you say that, something definitely will go wrong, right? So it's all about embracing your journey because it's your journey. I think sometimes we look at other people and think, oh, I wish I had it like them. You have no idea what they're going through, right? Because not everyone share what they're going through. I'm not really a share. I mean, being on YouTube or on social media, like now I find myself sharing more, but I realize that there are so many people going through it, right? And when we talk about it, then other people are inclined to share. And my mentee sister today on the phone, she said, I'm so glad that you used that word defeated, because that was the word that she used while she was speaking with her hubby in the morning when she was speaking about where they are. And I said, girl, because she was talking about her car and the car shut down with her. And I was, as she was talking, I was laughing my behind off. I said, listen, I said a week before I went to Jamaica, I chose not to drive my car. I'm glad that I didn't have anywhere far to go, because every time I'm going someplace, that daggone car decided it wants to act up like it don't want me to go. And I said, you know what? This time I'm not, because you ain't gonna cause me to be distressed the day before I go. Because I think it was about 2 years ago, a friend from Brooklyn came. She and I went to a concert here in Queens, and I was driving her back to the train station so she can take the train back to Brooklyn. And the daggone car shut off in the middle of the daggone road. Thank God it was late at night, so it's not a lot of traffic. And I managed to basically get it off the road. Um, I think a cop was driving past, and he paid us no mind as we were there trying to get it out of the way. But I called AAA. I called AAA, and AAA came, towed it, and my friend was able to go because we weren't too far from the train station, so she was able to go, and I got a ride home. Now the car was towed to. We towed it to a place in front of one of my family friends' business, right? Because we're thinking it's gonna be safe because it's a heavily trafficked road. Well, what had happened was I went to Jamaica and I had a grand old time. But when I came back, I got tickets in the mail. I'm like, tickets in the mail? The car is sick. The car is in rehab. Don't you know that somebody stole the plates off the front and was having a jolly old good time around Queens? I got three tickets. And they started to threaten me for non-payment. I'm like, I wasn't even here. So I had to go and basically file a police report, turn in the one plate that I still had, and do this whole thing so that they didn't drag my behind off to prison because I didn't want to pay a bill that I didn't incur. Can you imagine? Anyway, um, and that was a time when I actually did laugh. It was annoying because of the time that I had to invest in going here, going there, and whatever have you. But it's one of those things that you realize that this too shall pass, and it did, right? Um, Another time, and I think I did mention this to her, where 2022, 2022 Christmas Day, mommy and I are in the living room enjoying a nice um, traditional Jamaican breakfast that mommy prepared. And I was so excited. Mommy had already started to eat. I sat down with my peppermint tea and my ackee and saltfish and dumpling. I don't even remember what else was on my plate. All I heard was and I ran in the kitchen and I see like Dunn's River Falls coming out of the ceiling in the kitchen. I'm like, what in the heck is going on? So I came upstairs. I didn't see anything. I ran to the basement and the flood continued down there. And I was like, Lord Jesus, I had to put my food down. I'm a foodie. I love food. I had to interrupt my food. I was vexed. I wasn't even vexed as much as about the water as much as that I had to stop eating my food. Anyway, um, it turns out that it was a very cold day. It was the coldest day of the year on that day, and a pipe burst, hence the flood. And I was annoyed, right? Not going to go into the details. Thank God, days later, it still continued to be cold because we had basically a cold burst for I think like 3 days because it just getting colder and colder. So it went from having no hot water, then it went to no having no heat. And it was funny because as it declined, like as the everything started to unfold, I said to mommy, so the first day I said, well, at least we have water. I think I said at least we have, because I had to turn off the hot water. So I said at least we have hot water. And then I said, well, the next day I said, well, at least we have heat. Then we had no heat. And I said, well, at least we have a house. And the point that I'm trying to make is I decided to just laugh it off. Like the first day I did cry because I didn't know what was going on and I didn't know how to stop what was the bleed. Basically, it was Christmas Day. Everywhere is closed, but thank God for knowing certain people who are plumbers or whatsoever have you. And he told me, just shut off, told me to shut off the hot water and asked me, what are you crying for? What are you crying for? Don't you have a house? Don't you have food? Go cook some dinner. So I was like, all right. So the plan for that day was to cook. I remember I was making salmon, filet mignon, and something else. And I did. I prepared my dinner. Mommy and I had a grand old time, and life went on. And I'm here. And I told her this today because I said there's so many things that happens in my life. that sometimes I'm like, oh, why me? Or I could say that, but I'm like, you know what? God is funny. And I laugh and I keep going because the alternative is to get so far, like into emotions and be depressed. And I know what it was like there. I don't want to go back there. I do not want to go back there. I do not want to have these pity parties that I used to have. So I have chosen to basically take it as it comes, right? Enjoy the good and the bad because the bad is there so that I can grow and learn, right? Going back to yesterday's message of growth. Outside the comfort zone is always painful, but guess what? That's when you grow and that's when you learn. So, um, I'm happy when I'm able to have certain conversations with certain people, right? Because that's why introverts do not like small talk. We don't like surface level talk. We like to have conversations that kind of is deep, right? Because that's when you learn about people and then that's when you realize, oh, it's not just me. And I think that's one of the things that I love about YouTube is that you get to go on and you see as you're scrolling, you see that somebody is experiencing the same thing that you did and you click, right? To hear what they went through because you're thinking, I'm the only one that have this problem. And then you realize, oh crap, there's a whole bunch of people. Because not only does that person, but when you look in the comments, you realize that everybody's adding on their version of that thing that happened to that person. So I think, like it's good to share um, so that others can feel like they're not alone because we are not alone. We are all in this thing together. And I know it's easy for someone who's on the other side of hurt, who's on the other side of depression to say, no, keep going, you're fine. I know that it's easier said than done because I remember like when I was going through it years ago, that I could never see a time when I would not be sad because I was just so caught up in sadness and depression. And I feel like when I think about it, I tell people like happiness is a choice. But when you're going through it, you can't see happiness. You cannot. And I think that when I started my journey, like when I started to think differently, behave differently, and just know differently, I realized that happiness is a choice. And when you wake up in the morning, you can either choose joy or you can choose sadness. Girl, for me, every day is a sunny day. I don't even care if it's cloudy outside, because the one thing that is sure is that there is going to be a sunrise tomorrow, whether it's the literal tomorrow or the day after that. I do believe in knowing and believing that it will get better because it does. It's a choice, right? We are creating the life that we want to live, right? So we cannot be stuck in defeat. We cannot be stuck in a place of woe is me and blah, blah, blah. Because the reality is no one cares. I remember the first time when I saw when someone said that on YouTube, like no one cares. I'm like, oh, that's not true. I care. But the reality of it is everybody is managing their own thing. They ain't got time to be managing yours or worrying about yours. Because while you're sitting here talking about, well, take for instance me, if I'm sitting here talking about my busted down car, somebody's probably talking about, oh, I got an eviction notice on my door. Right. So I always believe that we should just be grateful for what we have and where we are, because somebody out there has it worse than you. One of the reasons why I love going to Jamaica and staying in the resorts is because it's a way for me and my mom to give back. We connect with people who work in these hotels. They get paid peanuts, right? And then they tell you their story, and it's like, oh my god, right? Because imagine getting paid 5,000 Jamaican dollars, which is really nothing, and having to have to survive on that for, let's say, a week. Some people get that in a month, but let's say a week. It's not, I don't remember how, because I think one US dollar, $1 is like 150 Jamaican dollars or something to that effect. And when you consider that people have children or school or whatever have you, like it adds up, right? So I love to go home so that I can be reminded of where my life could be had mommy not have the opportunity to come to America, where things are better, even though the madness is going on right now, but it's still better in some respects. um, so Being defeated is one of those things that we should never hold on to, because it's a choice. You can either choose to keep fighting and going, or you can choose to um, be a conqueror, whatever that thing is, because that thing is 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 there so that you can figure out how to get past it, right? Sometimes we sit there scratching our head, stuck like, oh God, what am I gonna do? And that's what you have to do sometimes, is just stop, ask, and listen, then you get your answer. But sometimes we're so caught up in our things, right? We don't know how to silence the brain, and then we start going down these rabbit holes of Lord Jesus. All right, we start to basically do this thing. We start to cry, and the crying turn into depression, and it's like, oh gosh. And then the deeper you go, like the the harder it is to see the sunshine. There is always sunshine. Um, yeah. Life is life. And like right now for me, I'm kind of going through it, but I told myself I'm gonna just rock and go through it, like just like when we're in Jamaica and we stop in those potholes, because sometimes some of the roads are like not great. um and sometimes the driver has to literally stop the car and rock the car in and rock the car out, and I feel like sometimes that's just how my life is, and I'm grateful for it. Right now, like, I have a lot that I'm working on. I chose not to look at any messages while I was in Jamaica, except for K's, because I did. But that was early, like that was early in the week. And I told myself, you know what? I'm going to disconnect. And I did. And I was so proud that I did. There were some messages that I wanted to respond to, and I was like, no, the whole idea of vacationing is to vacate. Vacate your life. And so I chose to not look at messages. Of course, I came back and there was a bunch of messages that I needed to, things that I needed to attend to. Um, but I have no regrets. I would do it all over again. And this is what I'm going to do every time I go away on vacation. If I'm going to Jamaica to visit family, then I'm going to need to look at messages for distraction in it. But anytime I go on vacation, anytime I go on vacation, I'm going to disconnect, because it's very necessary. Because that is a time when we are choosing ourselves. That's the time when we're choosing self-care. That is a time when we're choosing to be selfish with our time, because we're on vacation. We're on vacation. It's a time to basically, for me, to be one with the universe, to walk around barefoot, half naked, and just get a tan and drink coconut water and eat fruits. That's life. That's me in Jamaica. And, come back and be like, have the memories. And then 2 days later, it's like, wait, I need another vacation because it's too much. But it's life, right? Life is, I remember I was walking on the beach. I think it was on the last day in the morning, and I was speaking to a woman who's, it happened to be her birthday also, and she was actually raking the beach. And I was saying to her, because there's a storm out at sea, so there wasn't anyone, nobody. It was just my backyard at that time, and I was grateful, right? So I think most people decided to stay by the pool, and I was happy that God made it that way so that I can have the whole beach to myself, except for the lady that was raking. And we got to speaking, and I said to her, I don't remember what she said, and I said to her, God gave us this. Like, the beach is ours. The beach is ours to have fun and enjoy. Of course, you have some people that's trying to destroy the world, but if we do our own little part, then we did our own little part. And I was just there walking about, just enjoying the time, walking back and forth on the beach, and realizing that this is what life is meant. This is how life is meant to be lived, right? So no matter where you live, no matter if you can go to an island or not, we're supposed to learn how to take time out of our day, out of our life, to just be, right? To sit and appreciate what God gave us, and not take for granted that it's going to be there and that it's there, because things are just things are not good. And during the pandemic, for the few months that we were on lockdown, I was so happy to see how healed Mother Nature was, because everything was green. The water was clean here in New York. It was clean. I was like, woo! Because no one was outside. No one was littering. There wasn't any pollution from the cars. It was just clean and it was wonderful. And I feel like sometimes I remember during COVID, I thought to myself, if the world could, if we can do this, um, even if it's once a year, it would be nice, right? Because we all need healing. Humans need healing. The animals need healing. The earth needs healing. So for me, I will not embrace defeat, because I will not be defeated. You know when I'm defeated? When I'm underground. And I'm not going to underground anytime soon. And even then, I'm not defeated, because guess what? I won in life. And I know that I'm going to win, because I'm going to keep going. No matter what it is, I'm going to keep going, because life is too sweet to give up. Um, right now, I wish that I had the funds to hire staff, even one person, to help me do all the things that I'm doing, but I can't afford it. And so, therefore, I will continue to do it, because one day I know that I'll be able to look back and say, Lord, have mercy. I remember when, because these are the times that I'm learning and I'm realizing that I can. All the things that I thought that I couldn't do before, I can. Because when we say things like I can't and I try, we're basically choosing to be defeated, right? So I feel like moments can make you feel tired, defeated, or even look like you're falling behind. But you're not. You are where you are meant to be at this present moment in time, no matter what it is that you're doing. Always remember that what you're doing today, it basically sets up for what you do tomorrow and the next day and the next day. So a little at a time. Jamaicans say every mickle make a muckle. So basically, like, just do a little today, and don't worry about what people think, no matter what they say, because what they think or say, that's their problem, not yours. You are meant to go at your pace. You are meant to live during this time, because man, listen, life is sweet. Even if, and that's what I realized, that those who have the least enjoy life the most, because we don't have a lot to lose. We don't have a lot to lose. You know what I'm saying? And the thing is, it's like sometimes I look at some people that, even people who, that I know, neighbors or people around the neighborhood, and when I see how sad and defeated they look, I have pity for them, because I'm like, what got you feeling like this though? I mean, it's 9 o'clock in the morning. Why your face look like that? You just woke up. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like we should always be grateful for the fact that we have another day, another moment to change whatever it is. Because change don't come overnight, but change can come if you want it to come, right? And I say this, all of this I'm saying based on my experience, and being with my mom and seeing her, like, when I was in Jamaica, I didn't even mention this in one of my in my previous videos, and I didn't even let my mom know. But when we go home, we love to go to country to visit my grandfather's church and the graves, like my grandparents' grave, one of my uncle. I think I said hi to one of my aunt, but my uncle that I visited is he was one of my favorite people in the world, and I was pissed off with the way his wife did not attend to his grave. I was so vexed. I was so vexed. I called her. Man, listen, we had words. She was like, "You making it serious if I abandon your uncle's grave?" And I said, "You did." It's not a word that I would have used. I would have never tell her that she abandoned his grave. But since she chose those words, I agreed with her. Period. But anyway, as I stood on his grave, I said, "Hi, uncle." I said, "If you were here, you would have met me at the airport with my coconut water," because that was his thing. Even if he wasn't there to pick us up from the airport, he was there to meet us. And when we were leaving, I said to mommy, because we stayed at a resort, and when we got to the airport, I said to mommy, I said, who would be here right now to meet us? Like, every time we went to Jamaica and we were leaving, whether we stayed with him or elsewhere, my uncle would always be at the airport waiting for us to send us off. And I'm so grateful. So the reality of it is we can choose to just basically coast through life and not enjoy it, or enjoy it the best that we can while we have it. Laughter for me is beautiful. Like when I hear people laugh and when I see people laugh, when I can make people laugh, it makes me happy. When I see people laughing, it makes me happy. When we were on the beach and some of the staff in the dining room, they just look so blasted and miserable. You say good morning to them, they're like, good morning. Like it's not genuine. And I'm like, and I know that it's hard, when people are doing hard work, that it's not easy. But the reality of it is that's the work that you're doing right now. And I said to one of the workers that it's a choice, right? Sometimes we allow too much time to pass before we get on the thing, right? Because people want to have fun and do up the thing. And, by the time we realize, oh no, I'm 25 years old and I haven't done anything to start my life. I haven't, done the school thing or whatever have you. And then next thing you know, you end up doing something that you really don't want to do. There are some people who actually love serving because they love being around people. So I feel like everybody, there's something for everyone to do. The person that's cleaning the bathroom, they like it. So not all of them, but some people love to clean, right? Some people love to, the lady that was sweet and be, she was loving it. And I think that people end up liking what they're doing based on the environment. There, there was a point in time when I remember saying to a cousin, I mean, I just want a simple life. I just want to live on a beach somewhere, have a little hut, and if I have to sweep the beach, I will. I didn't mean those words, but I meant those words. Because for me, I don't want to have a whole heap, because I'm not going to, I don't feel like we need a whole heap. We just need enough to get by. We just need enough to have a comfortable life. And that's just me. But anyway, I have learned that defeat is not the same as done. And it's okay to feel defeated. It's a natural human emotion. Just don't stay there. Feel it, acknowledge it, but keep going, because giving up is not an option. The truth is, everyone is fighting something: a bill that's due, a goal that's too far away, a disappointment they didn't expect. But these are also the moments that grow us. These are the tests that strengthen us, strengthens our patience, our resilience, and our faith. And one day, I know that I look back at all of this stuff and I'm gonna laugh because I'm gonna have a few cars. I'm gonna have a few cars that's current, and I'm gonna look that I'm not gonna drive because I'm gonna have a drive, because although I drive, I don't really love driving anymore. I like to walk. But I'll be able to look back at some of these stories and I'm going to laugh, because that's what happens. Like when you get on your journey and you start to basically evolve, then you look back and you realize how simple that moment was, and that it really wasn't that serious, but it was very serious in the moment. It really was. Hi, Cynthia. So please know that if you are feeling defeated right now, just know that you're not alone. And this isn't where your story ends if you don't want it to, right? Because life is a choice and you have the power to keep going. Never stop, just keep going. Keep showing up, even if it is quietly. Life in the life as a hermit can be lonely, but it can, for me, I love it because I've learned so much about myself. I've learned how to not be defeated, right? I've learned how to believe in myself. So my ask for you is to keep believing, even if it's just a whisper, because everything you're doing right now is going to pay off. You have to believe that. Everyone that is up there, or everyone that you think is up there, they started somewhere, and they had all the struggles, all the things that we're going through. They did too. I'm sure you've heard the story that people sleeping in their car or choosing. I saw a YouTube video the other day where a woman, I think she was an addict, and she was locked up. She was in jail, I think. Yeah, she was in jail. And when she went to see the judge told her, I think her bond was like $500 or something like that. And she was like, I would like to request going back in for a month, please. And he was like, they were confused. And her attorney, explained that, I don't remember what the attorney said, but in the end, basically what she was asking for was to be placed back into jail so that she can Well, one, because she said, if I go out, I won't have any place to stay. If I stay here, then at least I'll be able to save some money so that I can have rent. Choice. It was a choice. Now it sound odd to me, but I'm not the one going through. I'm not going through her journey. That is her journey, and I'm praying that whatever she is, where she is right now, I'm praying that she's over that thing and that she can look back at that moment and realize that she overcame that thing and that she didn't allow it to defeat her. Those times when you feel defeated, know that you're being stretched for strength. That's one of the things that I've learned over the past few years is that when I'm feeling like, like everything is weighing down on me, that's when I'm growing and that's when I'm stretching. And it's a time that, although it feels heavy, when we're able to pass it, hey, Veronica, when we're able to pass that moment, um, we smile and say, I did that. And I feel like women, especially, we are some strong individuals, and God made us strong for a reason because He knows that we're carrying this world. I really believe that. Everywhere I go, I realize that we are needed so badly, so badly. And yeah, but if today's message spoke to you, please go ahead and drop in I'm still standing in the chat or in the comments because we are not giving up. Not today, not ever. Take a moment if you need to, drink some water, take a day and take a mental health day, but just know that there is a tomorrow and look for that sunshine. I'm sunshine. Before you go, I don't have my book beside me. But please remember to get my book, Unlocking the Introvert. Please remember to get my book, Unlocking the Introvert, a pocket guide to understanding and interacting with introverts. It's available at the site of introverts.com, Amazon, and everywhere books are sold online. Know that we have everyone that's in the chat right now, I met on YouTube, and I'm very grateful for them because I feel as if like Sadie has an amazing community, and we were able to build a soul family. Yes, I'm still standing. Yeah. Sorry. Um and it is wonderful to know that your people doesn't have to be someone that you can see in person, touch, or feel. Well, touching is feeling, isn't it? Well, see in person. Um, I met some wonderful people on YouTube, and I am grateful because we're here to support each other. And I do believe that people who are meant to be together are attracted to each other, whether it's for the day, a week, a year, a moment, whatever it is. We should just be grateful that we should just be grateful for life. Grateful for life, grateful for the opportunities, and grateful that there are people who support you no matter what. Your family doesn't have to be the family that you were born into. Your family can be people you meet along the way. And my soul family is here, and I love y'all. And I'm very grateful. And so K Big 1111, or is it B 1111? Homie B. So K, Big 1111, Cynthia, Veronica. I am very, very grateful to each and every one of you for um, being with me on my journey. I'll never forget when Sadie asked us all to share our handles so that we can support each other. And I'm happy to say that we've been doing that for each other, and I'm grateful. I'm grateful that we, you know, show up in each other's places every so often, and we can say, "Hey!" It's like walking into them and we say, "Oh my God, I know, hey!" And it's wonderful. It is a wonderful thing to know that you can build community behind the screen. And I pray that one day we will be able to connect in person somewhere. I don't want it to be Florida because Florida have lizards that carry guns. Right, Kay? Good night, Kay. But I'm grateful. That was what Kay and I spoke about when we had our last live. We were talking. I was saying to her, I'm not coming to Florida because they have lizards, and y'all walk around with guns. And then she said, "Oh, wouldn't it be funny if lizards had gun?" And we were basically cracking up. It was a time. But I'm grateful. And I thank you all. Have a great night, everyone. And I hope that you'll be here with me tomorrow for day 17. And please remember, when you feel defeated, you're still becoming stronger than you know. Have a great night, everyone. And thank you very much.